All right. Just checking a few things last. Oops, as I screw up the aspect ratio. Awesome. That's about right, it seems. Okay. No, not quite. God damn it. There. Much better. Okay. You go ahead and start PvPing. Definitely feel free and say hello if you are hanging out. Otherwise, I'm just going to go about my business until somebody has a question or wants to chat. Hello. Right now, to pick just one is difficult, but Jin and Valken are definitely up there. I love Craw, I love Iris. I mean, honestly, whatever works. But yeah, I like Jin especially right now. Jin is probably the strongest hero at the moment. Maybe Valken, then they're kind of neck and neck. I don't think Emily has gone yet, but I'll risk it. Yep, still good. Here so I can make the text bigger. That should be a little better. We're just gonna kill Valken, or try to. Dagrand Jones, nice. That's a cool name. Is that named after the dwarf? Okay, this should be pretty straightforward. Awesome. So yeah, I like this team a lot. It's been very successful for me. It counters Jin teams. It's got Jin on it, so it's got the silence and all the other stuff. Definitely, I've been getting long streaks with this, even against tough teams. So I've got 2 or 3 festives on Sifu. I've got 3 on Dagrand. I've got 2, I think, on Valken, because he'll pick up 1 from Sifu. And I've got 1 or 2 on Panda. Usually what I'll do, sometimes I'll go ahead and haste with Dagrand round 1. A lot of times I'll just do the Dwarven attack party, whatever the hell it is. I can never remember the name of it. It is Smackdown. Dwarven Smackdown, I'll do that and try to take out like one of the damage dealers first. But I have the option to do haste if I need to. Well, and sometimes I can do both if Valken pops his epic. So I'm not going to do haste because haste is already out everywhere. I'm going to go ahead and give Jin some energy so that I can use Jin's final power. I believe Dagran is, or Valken is not hasted now because Emily went, so I'm going to go ahead and re-haste with Sifu. And I'm going to finish off Valken. And now we'll kill Emily. She'll end up dying incidentally, so I'm going to focus my attack on Hagram. And then finish off Agnon. Done and done. Are you a member of Wrath, Dagrand, or are you somebody that just found my channel like from Starscream, or how'd you end up here? It's always hard to know because in-game names are never the same as like Twitch or YouTube names or anything like that. So here, I don't even stress at all about barbarians. I'm just going to go ahead and pile some damage onto Valken. Barbs are so easy to kill nowadays. Is everybody already hasted now? Okay. Oh, because Valken went. So I'm just going to go ahead and give him some energy. I don't think Valken is hasted, so we're going to haste Valken. And we're going to pile on some damage onto Abby. The key is just to kind of get all these heroes low on health. And then, ultimately, both Sifu has the shield piercing, but so does Jin. So, I mean, you get everybody low, Jin will finish everybody off all at once. With Sifu, it's kind of like, it doesn't even matter. And everybody's dead. Barbs are so easy to kill nowadays. If you let the barbarians take off and do all their barbarian things, and you get Drac going off on a rampage and everything kind of lines up right, that can definitely happen, but it's not going to happen if you have Jin. So Jin is going to stop all those special attacks. Nice. Well, welcome. Yeah, Jin is going to stop all the barbarian nonsense from kicking off unless they have, like, Kraw or Dagrand themselves, at which case they're relying on other things, and it's just not going to work out the same. So Jin is really the ultimate nail in the coffin to Barbs. This particular team, so you've got Dagrand is here for... He's always first, or if you've got a fast hero, he'll come second, but he will clear the silence if there's another Jin. So if I'm facing a Jin hero, he's going to clear the silence, and then he's got heals, he's got damage. The Dwarven Smackdown draws fire from Valken. It'll cause other follow-ups and things like that to happen. If there's already damage, like if the enemy heroes are already shocked or something like that from follow-up attacks or revenge attacks, those crits are going to boost, or those follow-up attacks are going to boost energy. And on top of all of that, then, so you're going to be boosting your energy, you're going to be getting follow-up attacks from Jin. I mean, it's just basically lots of free attacks. He can also haste, and he can also give energy. So, in general, he's great to have on the team anyways, but he's especially good with this team. And he's usually pretty strong, too. Like, just durable. He can take some hits. Sifu is here because he's, well, one, he's got shield piercing, which is good all the way around. He brings good utility, so he's going to be hasting. He'll haste himself and other warriors. So he's going to be hasting Valken. And his last ability is shield piercing, cannot be mitigated in any way, and is highly accurate and can't be dodged. Valken's here to be Valken. I mean, Valken is just going to be awesome. The big thing is all of these three, or matter of fact, all of my heroes have festives on them. So Dagran's got 3 festives, so he can do all of his abilities round 1. Sifu has 2 or 3 festives on him. I'll go over the runes here in a little bit. So he can do all of his attacks round 1. Valken has either 2, possibly 3, but I think it's just down to 2, because the haste from Sifu gives him 1 energy. So that's the third festive becomes unnecessary then. And then Jin has 1 or 2, maybe none, possibly even none, I don't remember. But Jin has taunt. My Jin is 6-star, so my Jin is a lot tougher than most, so he can actually take the hits, and the way I have him runed up, he can definitely survive. So he's kind of runed up that way, and he's really just there for follow-up attacks, revenge attacks, cleanup, that sort of thing. So it works really well against pretty much every team. I will lose about 1 in, I don't know, an average of 1 in 20. Sometimes I'll get longer streaks. I'll get up into the 30s, something like that. But even against higher, like this team, we're talking just under 5,500 rune power. Full dwarf team, I don't even sweat it. I mean, I will occasionally lose to something like this, but it's not altogether common. The big thing, once again, is you're kind of controlling the battle here. So, and I should have paid more attention to the order that they were in. Their Dagran is 2nd or 3rd. Yeah. So Dagran will be going next, so they're all still silenced, because it was Hagrim, then Valken, and it'll be my Dagran, who has cleared silence for everybody. Then it'll be his Dagran, so after my turn is over, he's going to be clearing silence. And then it will be my Sifu, his Therend, my Valken, and then Jin. So I need to make the most of this. So I've got 2 things that I want to kind of do. I want to probably go ahead and get, if I haste Jin, that's going to give him a chance to dodge, although not against dwarves, so that part really doesn't matter. But it's going to heal up this gap. The other thing that I could do is I could drop some energy on him, the energy rune. Or I could focus on trying to kill Valken. So those are really kind of the 3 paths that I could go. I think against this team I've got 1 guy here that's already shocked. I think I'm going to do the Dwarven Smackdown and attack Valken. So I've cleared the taunt. That's one nice thing. And I'm hasted, so now I can do one other thing. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, well, he's already hasted. I guess I'm going to do an energy rune on him, on Jin. To go ahead and get his health up, knowing that he's going to get attacked by Therend and whatever else. How did we skip that? Was his Dagran last? His Dagran might have been last, which was really unfortunate for him. So he is already hasted, but Valken is not. So I'm going to go ahead and do Warrior's Chi, which will give an energy and haste Valken. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to kill his Valken. Oh, hey, Erasmus. Good to see you. Okay, so I've got the haste. I'm going to go ahead and drop Steel Sharpened Steel. We'll polish off Valken here. And we're going to target... I mean, everybody is shocked. So, I mean, this battle is effectively over. They've got shock on everybody. I mean, the energy is just going to be pouring in. The follow-up attacks are just going to be pouring in. I'm going to target Therend, because I want to make sure that Therend goes down. And then now just these two, they're frozen. I'm going to silence them again. I mean, meh, they're done. And there it is. So, yeah, this works really well against dwarves. Works really well, like obscenely well against barbarians. Some of the new meta teams, I haven't run into too many of the new meta teams. Like, most people are still behind the meta. So, here, once again, so what this person is trying to do, they've got a Valken, they've got Therend, they've got Dagrand, and they've got Jin, a 3-star Jin. They really are just kind of... They didn't really assemble this well. Their Dagrand should be first, then Valken, then Therend, and then Jin. Because you really need to clear that silence forthwith. But yeah, we should probably... I mean, they're 57-48, so they're still a threat. They're not... they're probably not going to be a pushover, but they're definitely not going to be optimal. Position in your lineup is very important. Alright, so yeah, their Valken's going to attack my Jin, who's taunting. My Jin can take it. So here I have a couple of choices. Once again, it's the same general thing. I can haste my Jin. I can attack their Valken. In this case, this is a little bit of a stronger team. I'm going to go ahead and Dwarven EMT Jin. Top off his health. Go ahead and Warrior's Chi. Against Valken, I'm going to use... Well, if I use Precision Rampage, you run the risk of him switching targets. So I'm actually going to go with Feet of Fury, and it ignores armor as well. Although, for what good it did. Okay, so he has Freezing Skin. Freezing Skin rune. So this guy is very, very strongly runed. Freezing, yeah. So, yeah, I missed. I was looking over here when I saw when that happened. I don't remember. I didn't see what happened here. But oh, it must have been just the regular attack from Therend. So I lost my train of thought. So I need to figure out what I'm doing here. That freeze on Sifu is really going to mess me up. Well, we'll continue as if none of that had happened. I mean, the Jin isn't a make or break for this team, so... The fact that he is this strongly runed, however, and defensively runed, is going to pose some problems. So it looks like I need to find a way to kill Dagrand because of that. I'm going to lose this battle. Let me do this. I can actually read the chat. Yeah, yeah. And hey, I can definitely see that, the white Mr. T. He kind of is. Dagger pities the fool. Yeah, no, I lost this battle. Like I said, it happens. It is definitely not impervious. So yeah, there's a good example of how things can go poorly. This team, once again, was very strongly runed. They had runes, and this is not an excuse, but they had runes that were not very common. Like that freezing skin is, so that's somebody that's been around a while, probably been playing 2-3 years. I've been playing for not even 6 months, so yeah. All right, so this once again should be a strong team. They have a decent kind of idea here. What do I think the next hero should be? I don't think they should release a new hero for a while. So Royal Oak, this should be, I mean, this is a 76. He's got good runes, but he's a 76. He doesn't have his Emily till last, so yeah, I started in July, but I have dumped lots and lots of money into the game, lots and lots of time and energy and research, and yeah, I mean, I'm normally I play a lot of strategy games, especially a lot of this kind of strategy type game, so I picked it up quickly, and it served me well, so. But I've also got, I have pretty darn good runes for only being around since July. I just am missing some of the, like, buff stealing, freezing skin, like some of those kind that other people have. So yeah, I mean, we'll see here. So a big thing about Emily, you want to make sure Emily becomes a problem when on your team. So you have to look at the order here of where Emily is going to go. Now, she's obviously last in this scenario, so it's going to be Valken, Dagrand, Sifu, Agnon, Valken, then Emily, and then Jin. So his Emily is very poorly placed. Ideally, your Emily, you want your Emily to be in 3rd position or 2nd position. Sometimes first, depending on if you're on offense, but on defense, 2nd position, 3rd position, ideally 3rd position. And the reason for that is that you want to force the attacker to have to reorganize his forces. If his Emily was in the 3rd spot, it would be his Valken, my Dagrand, his Sifu, my Sifu, his Emily. And then my Valken. His Emily would clear the haste between Sifu and Valken. So, yeah, I mean, that's what you want to make sure you're conscious of and avoid and stuff like that. But him having his Emily in the last position, we didn't have to worry about that. Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff, I mean, some of the events, I mean, I've put a lot of, I mean, especially the most recent event, yeah, I mean, I dumped, I wanted to make sure that I got the runes early, the festive runes, because they were, I didn't have any yellow or red festives, so I dropped the cash up front to make sure I got them early, and it's completely changed what I can do with my teams now. I haven't bought any turkey feasts or anything after that. That's all been actual grinding and stuff. I mean, I think I'm at like almost 900,000, something like that, or 80. Yeah, I'm really high. I mean, I'm still in 1st place. But yeah, that's all been actual grinding. So I don't do the pay to win thing all the time. I definitely do the pay for advantage, though. But really, it's this, having these runes and having this stuff doesn't make you beat anybody. It gives you the tools to beat people. So, okay, so here's a wonderful opportunity. So he's got no taunt on any of his people. So I can use Dwarven Smackdown and just smack down his Emily. Not completely, but at least I've got a good foothold. Shield's gone. Pop Warrior's Chi. And against Emily, I will use that attack as well. And we'll go ahead and finish Emily off here. And we should be able to get his Agnon too. And his Sifu. So from here it's just cleanup. Done and done. Nice, yeah. Exactly, like the, isn't even heroic or isn't even legendary. But, yeah, I mean, they're, Agnon, so, I mean, all of those, like, there's no official rating. I consider Agnon an S-class hero. For me, I consider Jin is generally an SS, like he's very, very important, mostly because of the tactical opportunities that he brings. So in S's then, you've got Valken, you've got Emily, you've got Agnon, you've got Craw. Let me just, I've actually got a list made up I can reference real quick. So, let me find it. Alright, so for S's, yeah, it's Jin Lee is an SS, Agnon, Emily, Deadeye is an S, Valken is an S, Craw is an S. The Barbarians, actually, I'm probably going to start moving the Barbarians down from an A, down to B's, because they're really only good as filler anymore. Most of the rest of the Dwarves are A's. Ember is an A, Iris is an A, Zom is still an A, Shade is an A, Solaris is an A. So, and then kind of the Dwarves. And then B's are the ones that are going to be situationally good. Like Furno, Black Diamond, Hensuke, Hopper, Kai, like those kind of heroes, stuff like that. And then you got C's are going to be your averages. I will be doing a video specifically going over my opinion of what the meta is right now. So that will be coming either later today or tomorrow, something like that. But I figured today I would do some live streaming, try it out on YouTube. I was doing it on Twitch, but I'm like, well, I've already got people following and commenting and active here on YouTube, so I might as well just do all of it here. Yeah, so, but yeah, Agnon is definitely, if you can get 3 festives on Agnon, he is a monster. Matter of fact, there's a version of the team that you can do that is Dagrand, or is Agnon, Dagrand, Valken, and Jin. So the whole point is Agnon starts, and Agnon has 3 festives, Dagrand has 3 festives, Valken has 3 festives, and Jin has like 1 or 2. Agnon starts, does Terror Storm as his first ability, and shocks everybody for good damage, which will usually trigger up. Because Iris has limitations. Iris is squishy. I mean, she's probably an A+, S-, but she's not a standalone kind of hero. Like the heroes that are in the S class are really excellent in any circumstance. Iris is excellent. I mean, I was one of the first people to have a 6-star Iris on the server. I was definitely the first person to use her to good effect in PvP. Like, I came in 3rd place the first season that she was out. Like, I love Iris, don't get me wrong. She is a wonderful, wonderful hero. And always holds a place in my heart. But she's got, she requires, she can't do that in every single circumstance. So that's why she's an A, not an S. And just because she's an A doesn't mean she's like a crappy hero. I mean, she's still an A. That's an all-star hero. But yeah, it's just compared to Valken, she's not going to stand alone on par with somebody like Valken. Whereas somebody like Jin or even Emily or something like that, they bring the same level of value, if that all makes sense. So, but yeah, the Agnon team, the point is the Agnon does Terror Storm, then Dagran hastes Valken, Valken hastes the whole team, and then the whole team just kind of takes over stuff. Which actually, let me check. I might show you guys how that works too. I just need to check a few runes, which if I'm going to do that, I might as well show you the runes that these characters have. So Zen is good. I'm going to need to move him up too. He requires lots and lots and lots of festives to be worth anything, though. Like, minimum 4 festives, potentially 5. So Valken, I've got an Unbreakable Heart on him for the defense. Got a hero rune for the defense and damage reduction. Festive, so my Valken right now only has 2 festives, which is going to make it difficult for me to do the Agnon team right now, although I might have another yellow floating around. So it's the Festive, the Guardian, and then the Festive. I don't think I have a yellow Festive. Got a Warrior. Yeah, I will after this event's over, assuming I can stay in first place. But I do not right now. So yeah, that's Valken. I mean, he's fully epicked. His stats are pretty good. So, yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of health, high defense, high attack. Dagrand is running, he's got 2 purple festives. He's running a healer rune, so it's going to give him heals each round. He's got a green festive and an Unbreakable Heart. My Emily, I don't think has any festives right now. Oh no, she's got 2 of my festives, so I could technically move the festives from her up onto Valken, which is probably what I'm going to do, because I'm not using her actively right now. No, she's on my defense. Yeah, I have to keep those. Although, I do not necessarily have to keep 3 on her. I don't know why. Oh, I have 3 on her because she can do her 3rd ability then, which supplies Magnified Light, which is going to boost damage from Jin. So that's why I have 3 on her, but I can probably take 1 off of her for the moment. Swap it out for something else, maybe a Guardian or something like that. Come on. Therent. So my Therend is running a Caster Rune and Unbreakable Heart. For Emily, well, even better. I will remove one of them forthwith and put it back onto Valken. Warrior Rune and Warrior Rune, so he gets the extra attacks. He'll be there for follow-up. I'm not using him right now, but I will be. So since that is the case, let me pull the elite off of her. Throw a Guardian in its place. Sorry, my game is being a little bit laggy, probably because of the streaming and everything else that I've got running. Well, it really shouldn't be. So, okay, so that's there. Then we'll go ahead and it's going to soften him up a little bit, but that's okay, because I don't have any blue Festives. What is going on? I've got a monster machine. It shouldn't be lagging. It might be the internet connection itself that's lagging. Yeah, because my machine's not straining. Okay. Alright. So that's those four, and then as soon as this gets back down here, I'll show you Sifu. Yeah, absolutely. So I've got him runed with 2 Festives, 3 Festives total. That gives him access to all of his abilities round 1. So an Elite Festive, a Superior Festive. I've got a Healer Rune on him. So he's going to get, I mean, it's attack, defense, and then 10% heals. Obviously, it just helps keep him alive. I've got a Green Festive, and then an Unbreakable Heart. So there's not a lot of variety on him, but this arrangement is probably a really solid way to rune him. I mean, he's still running really good attack, which is probably, I'd prefer to have these numbers flip-flopped, but this also does mean that he's going to be contributing to the attack quite well. He's got a fair amount of skill. So the Festive Runes are providing him skill, which means his heals are going to work better, things like that. And his health is respectable for not focusing on health. Heroes to run with Grog, Gortusk, Valken, Solaris. I mean, really, Grog is going to be best with beasts. So you run, definitely Gortusk is common to go with him. Solaris is really common because you're going to get that beast synergy. And then you can pick another beast, or you can supplement with something else. Like Bovis is not bad to run with them. But even like Jinlei isn't bad. Valken or some other warrior kind of thing isn't bad. Solaris, Grog, Agnon. Yeah, Agnon's not bad to put with him, especially if your Agnon has 3 Festives on it, which I was getting to show. But yeah, that's definitely not a bad team. But yeah, I'm not sure there is specifically a best team. There's just, because you have to factor like what you're going up against and everything as well. So here's my Jin. So I've got an Elite Honor Bound. I've got a Guardian Rune. Hero Rune. This just, I mean, I've got a bunch of those, this particular type of Hero Rune. I was mostly concerned with the attack values and the defense values. The reduced damage from Barbarian. It's just because I had a bunch of these. I have a tank rune on mine. Most of you would not want to do that. Unless you've got like a 5 or 6 star Jin. But I've also, with the Guardian rune and the tank rune, I'll show you his stats in a minute. And then the Unbreakable Heart, which actually, if I have another Unbreakable Heart, if I swap, I need to find one of the Unbreakable Hearts that has defense instead. Well, this one's actually got defense. Compared to this, defense 276, defense. I'm actually going to swap this out for the moment. I'll replace this with a better one later. Oops, I don't want to craft. Not what I wanted to do. I want to equip this rune. So because I really want all that extra defense on here. They actually come through fairly regularly. I mean, the first ones came out. I got one of the very first ones that were available from that Portal event, the Portal Party in the summer. I took 3rd place. So I got an Unbreakable Heart there. And then in the Monster event, the Iris event, they ended up having, like, they were giving them out like candy, and they were in the store and all that other stuff. So I got a bunch of them then. So yeah. So here's his stats. So his attack is good, his defense is ridiculous, and then his health. So he's not real high crit chance, he doesn't need to be. Yeah, this is the result that I get with Jin. So he's obviously very survivable. And like I said, that is that's really only possible when you're running like a 5 or a 6 star. If you're running anything lower than a 5 star, throw a bunch of attack and skill onto them. The skill is going to help with your paralyze proccing, and then the attack is going to help you do damage. So is throwing defense on him at 4 stars or less. I mean, 4 stars you can probably defense him up a little bit. 3 stars and lower, don't even bother throwing defense because he's going to get one-shotted. Since we were looking at Iris, here's my Iris, and I mean, clearly I've got Iris runed, which says that I still value Iris and I'm using Iris. I've got 3 festives on Iris so that I get all of her abilities out of the gate. And yeah, I have a lot of purple and green festives. So 2 elite festives. Healer rune, I love these healer runes, especially on characters that are a little bit squishier. Festive and Unbreakable Heart. So I might swap this one over to Jin for the moment, but I'll worry about that later. And my Sifu. So let's see how Sifu's ruined. So, Guardian rune, Bulwark rune, so he's got 2 festives. I think you only need 2 festives on him, because you're going to be getting your first ability, or your second ability is the one that you really want, and then you'll get energy from that second ability to be able to hit the third. So festive, one of the red festives that just came out with this event, and then just a Bulwark. I didn't even have an Unbreakable Heart on him, I think because I didn't have any free, but I just wanted the defense. So he is a lot more defense than he is attack. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm definitely trying to build this up and just kind of help as many people as I can. I really enjoy the game. I like kind of doing this stuff. So, yeah, I mean, tell your friends. I am happy to help out any way I can and answer questions and take requests on videos and topics and all that. I've already done at least one by request. I'm going to be working on a couple other ones later today, so yeah. Defense team, Fiddlestrom, Valken, Hensuke, and Jin. Not bad. The issue that you're going to get with that, so you wouldn't want to put Therend before Valken. You're probably... Yeah, I do like this. I looked at the YouTube gaming, and I did like this better. The Therend, you probably want to put him after Valken, because you don't want Therend to be exposed, and with him kind of doing stuff before everybody's frozen, or at least before everybody's potentially frozen, there's that. So I would put Valken first if you're doing that. Hensuke is great on defense. You might... So there's kind of mixed thoughts on whether or not you want to put Taunt on Hensuke. I probably would. And just load him up massively defensive. Because people will just hammer on him for hours and hours and hours. Like, not hours, literally, but they'll be pounding on him, trying to get him, take him down, and he'll just be revenge attacking and all that stuff. Then, yeah, I mean, other than that, it's not bad. I hesitate anymore not to have either Craw or Dagrand on my defense, though. And the reason being, with Jin, there's really two kinds of teams now. There's teams that have Jin and teams that don't have Jin. Or you could look at it in terms of teams that are designed to counter Jin, or teams that are just trying to capitalize on Jin. And on defense, you really need to cover as many cases as possible. So, that being the case, you need to have either Craw there to stop the silence from being applied, or you need Dagrand to clear the silence. So you put Dagrand first, if you're choosing Dagrand, and then, at that point, then, your team would be Dagrand, Valken, Therend, and Jin. Because you can't really fit Hensuke in there with that combo. Or you get rid of Therend and pop in Hensuke there instead. Hensuke, your advantage is he's going to be honor bound, so he's going to have that synergy with Jin. Your 1-star Jin is actually going to be effective. I could show you on my alt until the flash sales or the doorbuster sales went on. My Jin on my other account, my alt, was 1-star, and I was face rolling. 1-star Jin still silences the whole enemy team. 1-star Jin can still break shields and destroy barbarians and stuff like that. Even on defense, a 1-star Jin is still going to silence the entire enemy team. So that 1-star Jin is not as bad as you think, but yeah, exactly. Like, it brings so much utility that even if you die with the first attack, you're still bringing a bunch to the field. So it's definitely still worth using it. And then here's my Craw, which I have clearly spent some cash to get my heroes, but Craw, 6-star, Festive Rune, Community Rune for some defense and damage reduction. Love these healer runes. All my favorite characters have healer runes on them. Festive Rune and an Unbreakable Heart. He's got an elite. I could probably swap this one out, and since I'm not using Craw all that often, but Craw's a great hero. Craw, I need to do, I'm going to do a video on Craw very soon. Craw is just an awesome hero, and yeah, especially, I mean, PvP, PvE, anything. He's just so good. Craw and Jin together is disgusting, but it's not quite as synergy, or as much synergy as the other heroes. So that was, I was in here to do something as well as to show Oh, I was going to make sure my Agnon... Yeah, I think I've got everything now. I swapped that stuff around. So the whole point, the whole tangent that we went on for this is I was going to demonstrate this Agnon team. So let's do just that. So we've got a Dwarf Family team, well, Gortusk Dwarf Family. So let's clear these guys out. Let's add in Agnon. So there's no Jin here, so I don't have to worry about Craw. So Agnon, Dagrand, Valken, and Jin. And this, a lot of people, well, I won't say a lot of people. If you've been playing long enough to get festive runes, this is definitely a strong team. I love having Jin being the one that's just, people are attacking, because it doesn't matter. Why? Okay, so there's got to be a bug right now. I've got 3 friggin' festives on Agnon, and he doesn't have Terror Storm available. And that's actually happened more than once. Oh, that's frustrating. I'm going to have to go back and confirm. He should totally have that ability there. So we'll just kill Kenny. They killed Kenny, those bastards. So normally what should have happened there is that he did Terror Storm, everybody got electrocuted, and then Jin followed up and electrocuted everybody, etc. But because the game is occasionally bugging, and now I'm not paying attention. Oh yeah, friggin' Gortusk is... I'm not a fan of Gortusk. Some people like Gortusk. I don't. So... Therend is paralyzed. He's probably going to die. I will probably go before his Emily. I'm just going to attack Valken. He still gets to attack. Whatever. Yeah, that bug is completely throwing me for a loop here. And now my whole team's down. That's really, really irritating, throwing away a streak because the game is freaking bugged. No, not necessarily throwing away a streak. I can beat Emily and Gortusk. I can definitely beat Gortusk. The bug was the fact that my Agnon, which has 3 festive runes on it, came up with only his first ability active. And that's actually happened more than once. I forgot about it before. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you get when you have, like, really strong Valken. Valken is OP like that. So let me just confirm. Let me make sure that I'm not just on crack. And with all of you guys here as witnesses, to see that I'm not on crack. So let's go down here to my Agnon. Who is down? Oh, no. What? Okay. So I looked at Agnon before, and there were runes on him. And now there are not, which that's why he doesn't have anything. Am I hallucinating? Did we not just look at Agnon before and I showed that he had? Maybe it was Craw that I was looking at. Alright, well, considering I had an unruned Agnon and still won. So let me pull the runes off of Craw and put them onto Agnon 1 for 1 for the moment. Yep. You guys smell that? That's me. I'm the shit. Just kidding. Alright, obviously I'm just a dumbass. So let's put these runes back on Agnon, and then I'll show you guys what this team is supposed to do. Alright, so he had the community rune. Oh, no, why do the superior when there's an elite? Where are my festives? Actually, he would have had 2 festives. So find those festives again. I should have one more. If not, I'm going to have to remove one from somewhere. Oh, there we go. So the healer rune. Festive, and Unbreakable Heart. Alright, so now, since that wasn't a bug, and it was just me having a mental bug, let's do this again. Alright, so here's, matter of fact, isn't this the team you were just talking about, Erasmus? The Honor Shop rune is worth it this season. Absolutely. So, as you will see momentarily, I've already purchased it. But this chance to add an extra basic attack rune, you want to pick these up every chance you get. They are very, very worth it. These are almost as good as Festives, probably as good as tanks. They are awesome. Great to put on characters like Therend, onto Hagrim, onto like your casters. Jin is great with extra attack runes, stuff like that. So I doubt I'll even get through all my characters with this. I probably won't even get to Valken. Alright, so Agnon, who actually has runes this time. Dagrand, 3 festives. Valken, 3 festives. Jin, 2 festives. And Dungeon Boss crashed. Sometimes I get crashes because I'm running on Nox, but it's pretty infrequent. Okay. Alright, so here is the team. Round 1. Terror Storm from Agnon. I love watching that. So yeah, you notice because they're lightning crits, Jin follows up all those crits with follow-up attacks and just hammers them even more. And then that goes through and all of that lightning propagates across. So one attack almost killed 3 heroes, and the rest of this is just like meh cleanup. Normally I would go ahead and haste Valken, but why? Just gonna make the battle take longer. Done and done. 3 attacks, done. So this Valken or this Agnon team is really good. This one, though, requires a little bit more care. Which, okay, so it requires more care when Emily is on the team. So Dagrand was kind of a concern about other teams, not so much for this one. The nice thing, too, is that because of the mechanics of Agnon, Agnon is going to be immune to the silence. Well, he's not technically immune to the silence. He starts silenced, goes into his stone form, which purges all debuffs and buffs, and then when he comes back out, he's not silenced. So he's not immune to silence, but he gets around it. So this team should really... It's a 5,700 rune point team. Shouldn't matter. Especially because there's no Emily. Now, once again, it's not a guarantee, but this is a pretty aggressive team. And that's why I have all the defensive stuff on my Jhin, so that he can survive an epic from an epic proc, things like that. So he's going to heal up, and my Jhin is probably going to die. Yep. But not the end of the world. So from here, now I do need to haste Falcon. Yeah, so really high rune point dwarf teams are difficult. They're difficult for anybody. I doubt I'll pull this off. It's possible. It's still possible. Not likely, but possible. Unlikely. But I don't run from anything. Like, I'll fight anybody. I have a chance to beat anything that's in front of me, so... If I lose, I lose. Yeah, and the fact that these guys, they have enough... they had enough defense to soak up all that damage and then heal from it right away. That was really what hurts. But for this team, that's one loss. This next one, I can already tell this is going to be, like, these guys aren't even going to be a speed bump. So, yeah, we'll fly through these guys real quick. I would not be surprised if this didn't kill 2/3 of the team. Well, half. And I'm not even going to bother hasting Valken in this case, because why? And I'm not even going to bother using an ability, because Jhin is going to kill him in just a moment by doing this. So yeah, not even a speed bump. The only thing you really have to worry about is combinations of dwarves, teams with Jhin, Emily, Valken, Dagrand, things like that. I mean, they're... yeah, Theron will be pretty strong with an ultimate skin, although Drax's ultimate skin is like meh. I have it and it's like, whatever. I mean, Lily's is good. Don't get me wrong there. Lily's is friggin' awesome. But alright, so we're against barbarians. This team is every bit as good against barbs as the other team is. They're already half dead. Go ahead and haste Valken. Valken will do his thing. And follow up with hasting the whole team. And at this point, my goal is to get everybody low on health so that Jin can do this. Oops. Done and done. And just a side note with Sifu on the team too, instead of Valka, or instead of Agnon. I mean, Sifu has piercing against barbs too, or God forbid you get Iris in here. It's just silly. Silly, silly, silly how powerful that is against barbs. Barb Furnace, not even a problem. Not even a little problem. It's funny to see in general chat the Lobies talking about their idea of how they think the game is, this and that, and oh, this character's so overpowered. People are like, oh my god, they killed Furnace round 1. It's like, kill Furnace in like 2 attacks. Haste Falcon. In case you guys didn't know, Iris can actually completely bypass his immunity. So Iris can do her third ability and take him down to 10% health, bypassing his special ability. And finish them off. Okay. So I'm going to go on for a little bit. I'm going to be eating a little bit here. My lunch or dinner just kind of arrived, but I'm going to keep streaming. So just pardon me if I'm eating on stream. Probably going to switch to no camera so you guys don't have to watch me eat. Actually, let's just do this. Not that. This. There we go. Okay. So I wasn't even paying attention to what we're going up against. Okay, this won't be a problem. Their iris here, most people don't have the greatest of irises, although it's getting more and more common to see 5- and 6-star irises. Until Iris gets a bunch of buffs on her, she's usually really squishy. So I'm not going to bother hasting Malkin for this. I want to kill this Iris before she gets too strong. Then I'm just going to take down, I'll be able to. So I'm going to take down, click on him, take down Agnon. And finish up Solaris. Easy, easy. So yeah, that's the gist of this team. I'm going to see if I can't, like, maybe we come across dwarf team. I mean, beating these teams with this team is kind of, we'll do one more and see if we get a dwarf team, and then I'll show some of the other options of teams. Yeah, my issue with Theron getting a skin is that dwarves are already OP. Well, they're less OP now because of Jin, but they're already really strong. Like, let's help somebody else out. probably one of my least favorite tunes is Hopper. I'm just not impressed with Hopper. Probably because it's not highly often that I will run with like a reser, but and okay, so we'll run that against this team against this. I'm not sure why they've got. I mean, I suppose they're trying to do the Emily Valken Barbarian thing. Oh, he used to be, but he's still not terrible. But, oh, you mean Hopper used to be the shit. Yeah, well, hey, maybe. If it happened before my time, I don't know, it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, Gortusk used to be awesome. Arya used to be awesome. Like, you'd pretty much say anybody used to be awesome. I'm a pragmatist. It's what matters today, and it's important. All right, so he's actually fairly toughly ruined. So we're gonna go ahead and haste Falcon, and oh, you got Yoko, yeah. Ugh. I don't know. You'd have to ask. Maybe Erasmus there has no. I mean, I get a strong feeling that goblins are going to get buffed, but this is what I get when I pay more attention to chat than I do to the game. That's irritating. Let's kill Emily. Well, we should still be good. Drax's almost dead. He's dazed. I think he is... Yeah. So he is paralyzed. Word that I'm looking for. So we should be good. I want to drop some more damage on Valken. Yeah. Both of us. Go ahead and do this. Oh, see, in there last turn, I must have done, because I wasn't paying attention to where Emily was in the roster, she dispelled his haste. That's my #1 mistake, is not paying enough attention to things. So yeah, we'll come out okay from this one. Yeah, well, Abby, I mean, Abby's going to provide the... Well, yeah, both of those teams in general. Well, Dag Valken, I would think Emily Valken. I suppose Dag Valken is there to combat the Jin effect, probably, was what they're thinking. So yeah, so I'm going to show a couple of other... Hagrim's viable now. I mean, Hagrim's viable right now. So let's make sure I've got runes on my Hagrim. And I will show you right now just how viable Hagrim is. And where is he? Did I already pass him? I probably already passed him. Yeah, he's got to be above Jin on the list. Oh, there's Epics. Where's Hagrim hiding? Should be down this low. What the hell? Hagrim, come out and play. Alright. So let's see what we got here. Warrior Rune. 20% chance for extra attack. Boom. Done. Warrior Rune. Boom. Done. Should have, yeah, Warrior Rune. Boom, done. Warrior Rune. Boom, done. Unbreakable Heart. Here we go. So that's a great way to rune your Hagrim. So he's got an 80% chance for an extra attack. If he does a main hand attack, he's got a 50% chance or whatever to do an offhand attack. He becomes a Cuisinart. So I'm going to run. Oh, let me get one other hero set up. Because for Hagrim, I need to have, well, two other heroes. I'm going to get Deadeye, and I'm going to get Ember. And make sure that both of them are ready to go. So Deadeye was ready and is not now. We'll go ahead and rectify that. So I like to rune my Deadeye up as, go ahead and give him an Honorbound rune, and we'll give him a Guardian rune. I like to give him good defense. No. Yes. So Deadeye, and if you haven't watched my video on Deadeye, I highly recommend it. He is the most underappreciated hero in the game. And he is so good. So ridiculously good. I want... we'll go ahead and throw Warrior Rune on him too. And we'll throw this Greater Unbreakable Heart, because he doesn't need a ton right now. And Ember. Where is Ember? So you can use Hagrim with just dwarves, that's fine. This is one of my favorite little teams. It was great on defense right after Ember got buffed, and everybody was like, oh, Ember still sucks. Ember is a friggin' A, possibly an S hero. So there we go. Damage pen. Damage pen. I'm just gonna go full on attack for her. Damage pen. Yeah, that's fine. Sometimes I'll mix her up, but she's usually going to go first. One of the things you may not have noticed right now, but for some reason there's not nearly as many fast heroes being used. Stormcrow will work. healer. Yeah, well, that'll give her a little bit of skill, yeah. So this team is fun. And this will demonstrate how to use Hagram and how to use... So this will be a tough team to use it on, but that's okay. So we are going to start out with, against this team it really doesn't matter, so we'll go ahead and start out with Ember. Now, then we'll do Deadeye first, then Ember, then Hagram, and then Valken. This used to be my go-to, like, face roll team for a while. It was before the meta changed. But it's still viable now. So the big thing with this team is you want to stop Valken from being able to do his attack round 1. So I'm going to use Solar Shot. And not only does it clear that taunt, but he's not going to be able to use his special attack. Next, we're going to pile on some AE damage. Not a ton on this team. And now, because that taunt is gone, Emily's dead. So now, pile on the damage onto Dagrand. And my Ember died, but she's already got the massive attack buff. That's really all that matters. So bring it down. I'm going to target Valken and just break his shield down if I can hit him. We'll do a Buzzsaw. Let's finish off the threat, reduce damage, and then clean out Valken. Yeah, those extra attacks are just brutal. And done. So totally a sleeper team. You would look at that and not think much of anything. But Hagram is critical for that team. He's great with other dwarves. I mean, but that was a 5,500, granted level 76, but it was still a 5,500 room power dwarf Emily team. So... this team is no slouch. I mean, it's not huge, but it's no slouch. It'll be the same thing. Oh, and the nice thing, too, is this team can adapt. So, you can kind of take your like, when you get weird things go sideways, Deadeye can really help you put things back on track. The ability to stop a hero from using a special is enormous. And for the longest time, I didn't have all the festives that everybody else did. Like, I didn't have the festives on my Emily that would allow her to run the group heal first turn. So I had to find ways around it. And this definitely does that. Alright, so he's got a really tough Emily. That's fine. We will... I'm actually going to use this one instead of Steel Sharpened Steel. I'm going to use Tooth and Nail because it's armor piercing. She's got a lot of armor right there. So now, bring it down. I'm going to use on him. Well, that outright killed him. Normally Ember would have followed up. One thing to remember, don't use Ember's fire attacks on Furno. But yeah, Deadeye teams Deadeye he's an S hero. And that's what I say, like, he's the most underappreciated hero. Like, people make fun of him. They call him Brown Eye, or my guild calls him Stewart, because look what I can do. Like, from Mad TV. I mean, he gets a lot of shit, but he is one of the strongest heroes in the game. Not for damage, but for what he brings to the battle. And Valken versus Furno is not even a contest. Until I get, like, one-shotted by Wildfire Breath or something. I'm gonna go ahead and freeze him. Or maybe not. And now, after I start talking smack, watch me get killed. Nope. So yeah, that's one way to use Valken, or to use Hagram. We're going to switch it up and use them a different way here. So we're going to go ahead and do Valken, Dagrind. Actually, well, it won't matter where we put Hagram in the order because he's going to go first. So this kind of thing is another just traditional dwarf team. I mean, he's great in this stuff. And this is a really, really solid team. So here, I mean, this team isn't strong, but I'm going to drop Iris just because... Oh no, Arya. She might dodge my stuff. Alright, so now onto a real team. But this is another reason that where I'll go on a streak and then I'll lose, because I start going fast. Just flying through, stop paying attention, miss a detail or do something wrong, and then I'm dead. Alright, so Valken's the big threat here. Usually you can, like, one-shot Valken with Hagram. But we'll finish him off. Smackdown. And we'll finish these guys. And mind you, I mean, like, I'm in Legend 1, so it's not like I shouldn't be getting these easy teams. Matter of fact, I should be pretty... Well, I might not be top 10 quite yet, but I should be pretty darn close. I know I'm top 15 by now. Oh, 17. So, okay, I gotta break 100 grand to get top 15. That'll be easy. He just won't stop. Oh, life hack. You get tired of seeing all the stupid stuff in general chat. Change your chat language to French. And they talk very little, and when they do, if you can't understand them anyways, it doesn't matter. So you can avoid the stupid people in general chat. And the 12-year-olds and everything else. Alright, so what else you guys want to see? I can go back to my main team, or if you guys want to see, like, I've got every hero in the game. All of them are 6-star with the exception of Gibber, who is 4-star. So, what do you guys want to see? I can show you, like, specific heroes. You want to see an Iris team. You want to see Like, what do you want to see? Or you got questions about specific strategies or beating certain teams or anything like that. I mean, I can definitely just go back to my regularly scheduled PvPing with load up my main team, but I'm willing to tackle whatever you guys want to do. Freeze team, although they're not all that effective. Full honor bound, I have not. As far as I'm concerned, there's only 3 honor bound heroes. Because the other 2 honor bound heroes, so Yokozuna is a waste. Like, just an absolute waste. His stats are weak. His abilities, like, he's got a taunt, but he gets stomped. Sumo Stomp does very little damage, but everybody's dazed. Dazed is completely irrelevant anymore, especially against dwarves. Rest, okay, so he's got a heal and gains 2 energy. To do what? The Sumo Stomp again? Like, meh. So he sucks. Like, terribly. He's probably one of the worst heroes in the entire game. And then you've got Takumi, who is hiding... Oh, he's got an epic, so he's back up top. And I mean, I've got his epic maxed. When he got his epic, I went through the trouble of maxing it. So even with an epic, his stats aren't great to start. His passives, like, he's got Bushido and Master of Combat, so he doesn't miss. But dwarves do all that. You have to have a bunch of water ally teams, or water hero teams, for that to matter. If they made this at least 10% water, too. Proven Honor will make a revenge attack. Meh. Frost Hit Blade's a chance to chill. Chill is really not relevant. And then his abilities, Frost Katana, chance to chill, then Frostbite. Meh. Bitter Strike, chance to freeze. Okay, but that's 1 attack. And then Blade Flurry, or Fury, you're better off just using Hitsuke. The Gorgon Sisters are of limited use. So, and really only one of the Gorgons. You end up using Krex and Viperia. Cobressa, I really, really want to find a way to use Cobressa effectively. I mean, I think the concept that she has is really cool. And I may work on that. But for the moment, the Gorgons, you can use them against... for mid-level, sure, absolutely. You can use them against, like, dwarf teams if they're really high defense, like Dwarf Emily, Agnon, things like that. But effectively, it's a very specific team makeup. You have to use either Abby or Ember, and then you use Viperia, Krex, and Lily. Lily gives damage pen versus armored allies or armored heroes. Krex is going to give the invulnerability and taunt, and Lily is going to, or Cobressa or Viperia is going to do massive, big damage. But other than that, it's only useful against very specific teams. Not something that, and I'm lazy. I don't like to swap teams out if I can avoid it. So I'd rather build teams that are viable in general. So, I mean, you'd use Krex, you'd use Ember, you'd use Viperia, and you would use Lily. Actually, so a decent... Here's what we'll do. I'll show you a Lily team. It's actually fairly decent. And now with Jin... So this was my starting team when Jin and Lily were both here. Let me rune her up. Guardian rune. So with Lily, what I do is I defense the ever-living crap out of her. That'll work. And just make her basically indestructible. Unbreakable heart, perfect. So 20,000 defense. Actually, if I find a different, let me just get a different here, because she really doesn't need the unbreakable heart. So yeah, we'll do this. Let's swap this one for this. And 21,650 defense. I think I had her higher before. I'm not sure why. Like she was at, oh, I had a tank rune on her. That's what it was. Let me do that. There we go. 28,282 defense. This is an indestructible Lily. Granted, max epic with the skin, all that stuff, but this is an indestructible Lily. So with Lily and Jin, I will generally also use Craw and probably Falcon. I can swap Craw and Iris, but we'll give that a try against some of these harder teams. So this being a great example. So we will put, we'll go Falcon, then we will go Agnon. Actually, we'll go Agnon Falcon. And Lily. And we'll go Craw. I don't need to really silence them. And I haven't shown you guys Craw yet, so. I love me some Craw. So you got two heroes that are completely like blocked up in the beginning. Although Agnon's going to come right out, but holy! Oh, I took all my runes off of Croc. God damn it! I forgot. Yep. Oops. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do, well, yeah, we'll work on some Craw stuff. This is definitely a viable Craw team. I mean, just look at this. And this will be like, Erasmus will love this. Lily can take a really good pounding, but, that was purely for your benefit, man. Exactly. See, had to give you the opportunity to use it. And done. So even basically I came in here with 3 heroes. So before we do that, I need to run to the restroom. I will be 2 minutes, and I will be back shortly. Just stay with me. I'll be here right again. And I have returned. Oh, I'm sure that all of our Old English specialists that are watching the dungeon boss plays will appreciate the difference. Okay, so I need to put runes on Craw. Definitely runes on Craw. Which means I'm probably I have to pull them from somewhere. I don't want to pull from Iris because I will probably be using Iris. I guess I have to pull them from Iris for now, or these teams are straining my festives. Okay, sounds good. Let me take from... Well, I didn't show Emily either. I don't know where to take from. I'll take from Agnon, I guess. That's what caused the Agnon problem to begin with. Alright, so remove that. That, and move them onto Craw. It's further down. It's all the way at the bottom. Stormcrow. I have an elite Stormcrow. Superior Festive. That's fine. He gets a bonus to... What does he get from his health? So real quick, we'll give a quick run through of Craw as I'm doing this. So he's immune to poison, venom, wound, and disease. Life steals 25% of damage. Soul Ledger is like his own personal little kind of stacks. So it increases skill by 50% and max hit points by 30%. On death, he purges debuffs and heals allies. Starts the dungeon. Allies start the dungeon with Foresight. So Foresight, if you're not familiar, Foresight is a buff that is like a Aegis Shield for debuffs. It'll absorb the first debuff coming in, and they both go away, just like an Aegis Shield does for an attack. Very, very useful. That will also stop the silence debuff. And undead allies gain 25% additional lifesteal and Foresight at the start of each turn. So you're going to want to run him with undead allies. Not all the time. He's useful in general, but... So... Get back to the healer rune on him. Back to the festive. And the unbreakable heart. So with Craw, I am probably going to go ahead and run Jin as well. We're going to run Iris as well. And probably run Falcon. Just because I want to make sure we're OP. I would run Agnon Or, let's see here. We could run... Oh, so this is... So there's a couple of options then. So if we're going with Iris, and we're going with Craw, and we're going with Jin, we could run Zom. Zom's going to be good. We could run Shade. Shade would also be good. I am thinking Life Reaper Braum, though. He got his little bit of a rework. He's not the #1 hero in the game by any stretch, but he's got an epic, and he shaves off 25% of all hit points. So basically, he effectively does one hero's worth of unhealable damage to the entire enemy team before the battle even starts. So that alone means that he's automatically pulling his weight. So I'm going to throw some attack runes on him. We will throw we'll go for damage pen and attack. And then with these last two, we will probably go for defense. So damage reduction, and this is not too bad, although planning runes not necessarily the greatest. Defense skill. Okay, this works here. So the big advantage to him, he's slow, so he's going to do retaliation attacks. He is immune to poison, venom, wound. He's undead, so he's going to lifesteal 50% of the damage that he deals. He heals and buffs attack and getting a killing blow. Max health below 25%. It's going to crit, so he's really good as a finisher. And max health is set to 75% of their current health. That's what I was talking about. So he effectively does 25% damage to every hero out of the gate. And not shabby on the stats. So 15,000 attack, 10,000 defense, 3,300, 3,400 skill. So we will have 2 undead, 1 light hero, and a monster in the form of Iris. And we'll be taking that up against a Dwarf Jin team. So, Craw is not slow, so it'll be basically Iris and Craw. We are going to go Iris first. And then we'll go Craw, who is way up here now. Where is Craw? Where is Craw? Can't wait till they let you save teams and stuff like that. And then we will go Life Reaper Braum, who is where? Probably went right past him. Definitely went right past him. Where is he? Or do I have him wearing a costume? Oh, there he is. And Jin. So this team should be pretty damn solid. So Craw is going to completely counteract his Jin. His Dagrand is in 3rd place, which is a bad move. It should be first. The theme you guys should be picking up is your defenders. If you are trying to stop Jin for any reason, Dagrand goes first. First. So this is not a team that you would typically just run into, but it should do fairly well. Alright, so now this is a bug. So this, it shows that they're silenced, but the Foresight actually blocked it. so I can actually use these abilities. Although it didn't actually copy all of the buffs, which is a bug as well. It should have copied the taunt. It should have copied the defense buff. Well, it couldn't have copied his, but it should have at least copied Dagran's taunt. It should have copied her. No, it wouldn't have copied hers, but it would have copied his. Yeah, this is definitely bugged. So I'm going to open with Dark Designs. Because it does good damage across the whole team. Okay, so now this turn started, and or this turn isn't over. So they did actually get silenced. Alright, that's unhealable damage. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And I'm not in a huge hurry to kill Emily, because she's going to res the 1-star Jin. Although, that hurt, whatever just happened. Okay. So I think I need to remove Braum, and I need to put Valken in. Just for that extra strength. Because against dwarves, or against barbs, or against anything else like this. So that's what we're going to do. Valken and Jin. So now she's got the attack buff, she's got the other buff, she becomes really strong. The nice thing about having a team with Valken and Iris is that Valken is going to start the attack, and against all these heroes that are shielded, he's going to, or Iris is going to kill them all. Or Jin will. Alright, so Foresight blocked the silence there. And it's just a matter of killing. It's not even worth. Iris follows up and kills. Okay. So who is still with me? And I don't want to keep doing this if it's not what you guys that are still around are interested in seeing. So if you want me to see me face rolling again, I can go back to doing that. Back to my Sifu team. God, I love Kra. Yeah, I can definitely give you some suggestions there. The first one is, and this is not meant to come across as sarcastic, but get rid of Mangle, get rid of Braum, get rid of Torchy. MK is decent at that level. So, what are... if you can get into at least barbarians at your level, or dwarves, ideally dwarves, are going to take you 60 to 80, like, no problem. Matsu is, or Masuda, is a perfectly serviceable character, especially at lower levels. But Braum is probably okay. Like, if you had to keep one of those three, keep Braum. But Torchy, not worth it. Manglejaw, not really worth it. You want to, like, looking back, I mean, Valken, when he comes up in a portal, definitely try to pick him up, or Drac. You can, so at that point, what I would do is, let's see here. And so you're 60 to 70. The alternative that you could do is you could go with a Beast team or something. So do you have Lily, and do you have Gortusk and Agnon? Do you have Ember or Deadeye? Like, what are your unlocked heroes that are on the stronger side? All right, well, let's look at some of the ones that would be more common. So you don't have Valken. Do you have Dagrand, Lily, Emily? The problem with what you're at right now is you're going to be encountering a lot more dwarves. And dwarves are going to stomp things that don't have synergy. So you need to get some sort of... yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Solaris, if you don't have Solaris is in the portal today. You could build up a Beast team, and Beasts are pretty easy to get. You'd want to use Grognog, you'd want to use Gortusk, you'd want to use Solaris, and then maybe Agnon if you have Agnon, or, I mean, not a Beast, but you could use, well, Jin's lower, but you could use Jin, or throw in Emily, or Ember, or something like that. Pygneus is actually, he's a little harder to get. He's actually a really good Beast tank. Furno, great hero. Leo, yeah, you could use Leo. And what you want to do if you have taunt runes then is you throw a taunt rune on one of your other characters to let it die first, and then Leo, if Leo dies, he'll res that other character again. Like, a lot of people will do that. They'll throw a taunt rune on an Emily, and Leo or Emily will die first, then Leo will res Emily. That kind of thing, but those aren't bad. Potentially, not if you haven't done all, like, if I open up my alt and switch over to that, which, let me go ahead and do just that here in one moment. So, one moment. Let me get this to the right size. Oops. That's not helping. Clicking on the screen that is OBS does not help me in the game. So this is my alt. This hero, like, I'll show you my roster. it's very, very sparse. I mean, part of that is intentional. I only unlocked heroes that I knew I was absolutely going to need. So full undead, you can get by with undead for a while, but you're going to struggle. It really depends mostly at this point on what you're facing, like what tier you're in. If you're worried mostly about just being able to keep up some PvP, like you're in Warlord or something like that, honestly, until you're like Legend 3, a lot of the meta really doesn't matter that much. But it's still important. So here, so this is my alt. This character, just for reference, I have 135,000, almost 136,000 roster power at level 80. And I've only recently increased, this was right around like 105. Okay, so Legend 1, yeah, you have to make sure you've got the stuff together. So I specifically didn't even, like, all of these heroes, I'm never going to use them on this account. I might use Echo, I might use Zen in the future. I haven't even summoned Leo. Like, I think my Leo is actually close to being 6-star if I summon him, just for reference. But I didn't even summon those heroes. These I haven't leveled up. Koros is a viable hero. But, I mean, pretty much you're going to want to try to get this core group of heroes. Like, these are the heroes that I have that are leveled up. Like Valken, Emily, Lily, Therend, Deadeye, Hagrim, Sifu, Iris, Ember, Drac, Agnon, Jin, and Dagrand. And that pretty much, if that was your entire roster, you'd be in great shape. But Solaris, Furno, Furno should be pretty easy to get. So Solaris and Furno and Gortusk and Grognog for common heroes that are fairly easy to get from just running dungeons and stuff like that. Those are a great hero team. You're not going to, as you get closer and closer to 80, you're going to have more and more problems in Legend 1 with a team like that. But hopefully at that point you'll be able to start unlocking more heroes. But yeah, I mean, you're going to be somewhat limited until you can start unlocking those other heroes. You can see, like, these, I haven't even bothered going for any of these heroes. But I mean, I've kept my roster power as low as possible, which will help if you do that too. Don't level up heroes, don't ascend heroes, don't even summon heroes that you don't need, that you're not going to use. Some of these were forced on me. I was actually using Zom at one point. I was using Matsu and some of those other heroes early on. The assassins got me through like level 40. But actually, as in the situation you are, how many stars is your Deadeye? Or do you have Deadeye summoned? I could try that. I could probably do that as a series, like as a let's play kind of thing, like a let's free to play kind of thing. I am very, very bad at being free to play though, because one, I've never done it. Two, I am impatient as fuck, like so impatient. I have impulse control, like I'll buy stuff, whatever, so it'd be difficult for me to do, but I'm willing to consider giving it a try. There are people in Wrath that are really good at helping with that kind of thing. So I mean, you could talk to your guild and find out. I'm not sure what your guild is or anything like that, but you could find out like some suggestions and stuff there. I'm not very good at it. I have no experience trying to manage it. I would probably look like a fool, but I mean, I would definitely consider doing at the very least, like a spending cap, maybe, where it's like, okay, I get like a Google Play card and nice. Where I get a Google Play card and that's all I'm allowed to use, or something like that. I mean, because there's certain things, like without certain heroes, it's very, very difficult. Yeah. So for leveling up, I mean, and staying in Legend, I mean, ultimately Legend really just means that you were willing to grind through it. And that you were winning at least like 50% of the time. Eventually you can grind through it either way. I mean, hopefully you're winning more, but Barbarians at those levels, you can get by with Barbarians too. They're fairly common. But yeah, if you can get gotcha. Yeah, see, I didn't even have Mangle summoned on this account at all. Or maybe I did. Or I haven't summoned him. But he's here. I don't remember. Yeah, I have him available. But, yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, a lot of people, even at level 60, either have very few runes or have crappy runes. I mean, what's her face? I mean, Indigo or the healer. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like against an unruned level 60 Valken, I mean, a lot of characters could one-shot it, but yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of, like, Grognog's a great hero for that stuff. He's easy to level up. I mean, the big thing you almost want to do is look at the roster, go to the hero, so, like, Furno, for example, go to Furno, he's not available very many places. Go to Grognog. Okay, so he's not available very many places. See, it's been a while since I've even leveled some of these heroes up. Gortusk will probably be the same thing. Yeah, he's only available one place. I don't even ascend to these characters. But, Yasmin was the one I was thinking about. But you look at the beasts, although he's not going to be available anywhere either. The ones that you can get from the map. So I guess maybe the better plan is look at the campaign map and see the heroes that are available. So Gibber, Cobalt can actually be useful. But these are the ones that you're going to be able to level up. And unfortunately, they're also not always the greatest of heroes. Phenol can be useful. Baylog is going to be good all the way around, like Indigo Children popping some Pussifer there. The Indigo Children come. But, yeah, at low levels with limited access to heroes, you're going to have a hard time either way. The big thing is just to look for the synergies wherever you can. The heroes that you have, make sure you learn them like forwards and backwards. you have a major abundance of Celestial Evos, it's generally not too much of a problem. Or a lack of Celestial Evos. But yeah, look at their traits and find ways that you can get synergies. Like, what heroes have similar type traits? What'll benefit from it? I'm going back to this one. So, yeah. So on this hero, I mean, I have Manglejaw, I have those heroes, but they're not going to do so well. Load up his skin. Gotcha. Let's look at simple teams. Like, honestly, beasts are going to be the easiest for you to put together. I mean, they really are. I mean, you've already got Torchy. Torchy is not a great hero. Skill doesn't really matter. I mean, has a chance to spread burn, but meh. If you could get Deadeye to at least like level 3 or 3 stars, you could probably do something with like a ranged follow team. But yeah, I mean, if anything, send me... Are you, if you're online, send me, like, reach out to me online and, like, line the line app. I am GravySir online, and send me, like, screenshots of your roster or whatever, just your star rating and your heroes, and I can give you, like, the best kind of rundown. But yeah, doing the tower, doing all your daily stuff. So I'm going to do some face rolls here. Let's get back to the Uber team. As far as defenses go too, I didn't really talk much about the defense yet. This is a really strong defense. I don't think... So I did lose twice, but most people don't even bother attacking. Craw team strats, so we started doing some of that while you were going and getting your sandwich, but I can continue with that a little bit. So as you can see, this is one kind of Craw team. So I've got Iris, Craw, Falcon, and Jin. Iris and Craw just kind of go well together, but this is a really nice AE team with the benefits of both Jin and Craw. I mean, Jin and Craw together is just like shutting you down. The only thing that would make this worse is swapping out like Iris for Deadeye, and then it's like the screw you team, you're not going to get a chance to play. Craw, Falcon, they're only good, the reptile teams are only good against high armor teams, and they're kind of a one-trick pony. If they fail, or if they don't kill everybody in one round, they're done. that now. So yeah, this team actually does fairly decent. Craw can kind of be swapped out for Jin in a lot of cases. Sure. What are your stronger heroes? Like, what do you have, Pinhead? I think Jin's almost better than Valken now. I mean, they have different uses, so it's hard to say one is better than the other, but they're both very, very good. They're both like the top 2 heroes in the game. Why don't we do it this way? Because trying to... So, you've got Grognog. So if you've got Grognog, do you have Gortusk? If you've got Grognog, Gortusk, Solaris, and an Agnon, or Igarok, or yeah, we can connect anytime on Craw. Igarok's not bad with them at that level, but ideally you want to go with synergies. So Solaris, if you're able to, Solaris is in the portal right now. So if you can manage some heroic portal summons, you can get Solaris. But because Solaris, if you're going to do beast teams, Solaris is the key to beast teams. There you go. Yeah, since one of your stronger heroes is going to be Grognog, I would go with him. He is, I mean, he's not an all-star, but he's good enough, especially at that level. He's got a bunch of AE type attacks and things that are supporting other characters. So go with Grognog. With Grognog, Gortusk goes well. And actually then you can use your Yasmin with them if you want to help keep them alive. She's going to get synergies for water allies. Yeah, you could probably go, well, see, that's not bad either, because once again, you're looking at synergies. So Abigail is going to give the attack buff, and she's going to have some other strong abilities. So you could put Abigail first, or Abigail and Grognog, or Abigail and Gortusk, sorry. Get Gortusk involved as your tank, get Grognog, and then get Yasmin. And that should actually be, that should be a decent defense team at your level. I mean, without having a variety of heroes, you're only going to be able to put up so much. At that level, well, granted, I went from level 54 to level 70 in a day of just grinding and exploiting. Like I got a 3x XP or something like that. But I just ground through and got there quickly. But at 54 and everything leading up to 54, I was pretty much running whatever my offensive team was on defense and barely ever got beat, like almost never. I was getting the Legend 1 in one streak every week. So, yeah, I mean, you get focus on your characters, have a plan for what you're going to be going to. But yeah, if you can get Gortusk going, Grognog, your Yasmin, and Abby, and yeah, that's not a bad team. It'll get you up into, like, you can get to 70 with something like that, definitely. Trying a team which consists of Rocky, Lily, Julius, and Drac. So, yeah, Rocky is going to haste all green heroes. If you've got the Grove Guardian, so you're talking about the one with the skin, she's good all the way around. She's an A. I don't think she's an S, but she's an A. Julius and Drac. So Drac, definitely good. Julius, I mean, after like level 30, I almost have never seen him anywhere. Like, people just don't use him. So boosted versus taunting is good. He's going to be an extra 60% defense, which is good. When his health is full, blah, blah, blah. I can't rely on that. Increase health by 25% for all beast allies. So that's not going to be the case. Yeah, but the problem is you get too high in one stat, and there's ways around it. Like Therend is going to pretty much ignore your defense. He's just going to rip you apart. I mean, Gortusk. I can get Gortusk right now. Let's see how high I can get Gortusk's defense. Just for the giggles. So, I mean, the high defense, even buffed or whatever else, like, not all that important. Sume at that level wouldn't be terrible. I don't know where my purple tank rune went. Oh, there it is. There we go, Survivor. Actually, I think my Lily is higher defense than this. But I mean, yeah, you can get him up like stupid high. And he's still going to get like practically one-shotted. So Sume instead. The thing is, with Sume, you're going to lose out on synergies. So I would actually consider using Phenol, because he's going to have really high health. He's going to have good defense, and he's going to devour corpses. So I would, if anything, I would use Phenol. Phenol, Lily, Drac, and Rocky. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely do it. You're going to want to load up Drac with plus chance for extra attack runes. Lily, defense her to, like I have mine. Make her as absolutely defensive as you can. And try to get taunt on her. Because she will just take punishment and stay alive forever. And you want to also try to get to her Kozar. I wouldn't. I wouldn't buy him. I mean, I try out what in a campaign dungeon, that group. I mean, my ears are gonna stomp through most dungeons, so it's really not gonna be a good indicator. But yeah, you want to try to get to her one with nature ability as quickly as you can, because it's gonna all nature allies become plants, which means they're gonna boost. So the synergy that you're going for, you definitely want to get probably 2 festives on Lily to get her closer to this, like as soon as possible. That would be like by 3rd turn she's able to use it, or 2nd or 3rd turn she's able to use it. I would definitely try that. So since you're going that route, then yeah, Rocky, Lily, Drac, and Phenol. Load Phenol up with defense and health. Load Lily up, like I said, with defense. Well, let me just go ahead and build that team. And actually, instead of Phenol, go Furno. So, Furno then. Defense, damage reduction, good. Attack, lifesteal, good. Throw a Guardian Rune on him. Defense. Health, attack, Burning Skin. Actually, that Burning Skin wouldn't necessarily be bad. But we're going to go with that. So Furno is going to have a lot of survivability. He's going to last throughout, and he's going to keep you with that damage debuff on your opponent. So that's Furno, Lily, Drac. Let me get Drac. There he is. I'll even try this in PvP for you. I need warrior runes. God, I've got so many green festives. Need warrior runes. I think I have a bunch of them on the other guy. Yeah, let me pull them off of Hagrim. Pretty much I can just take Hagrim's runes and put them on Drac. Actually, that reminds me. Somebody else that does really well with warrior runes, now that I'm thinking about it, is Furno. So I'm going to take this guy off and throw a warrior rune on there. Furno with extra attacks is sick. So, warrior rune. Unbreakable heart rune. Warrior rune. And should be, there we go. Warrior rune. Alright, and then last but not least, Rocky. And Rocky, we're just going to try to make survive as long as we can. Because he is not very tough. I'm almost out of defensive green runes. Because I tend to prefer defensive over offensive. Poison skin. So I may have to throw a tank rune on him just because it's going to give the defense that I need. I use Nox. Nox is nice and easy. Alright, well, we'll throw the attacks here. And I can actually have, like, well, you can probably do it with blue stacks too, but with Nox I can have, like, 4 instances of it running without any problems. That's no good. That works. Guardian on him. And that works. So he should be somewhat survivable. He should live long enough to get his first attack. So, let's give it a try. I'm only throwing away a 3 streak if I lose. Not a big deal. Against a team like that, it's probably not. And this is not going to take out high rune point teams, but so I'm going to want to probably get Drac engaged first so that he starts building up. Although actually no, we'll get Rocky and then Drac. And then we will do Lily. And last, Furno goes as far to the right in your lineup as possible. So I should beat this first team purely based on my runes and know-how. We'll see what this does against like a dwarf team or something like that, or at least a barb team. Alright, so we'll go ahead and haste. Alright, pop that up. I mean, Lily can carry these teams too, but so yeah, we'll go ahead and kill Gortusk, or get Gortusk burning. And we'll do a follow-up attack on him. Go ahead and do a pillage. Trying to get these guys all low so that I can just kill Solaris and be done. There you go. But I knew I was going to beat this team. That really wasn't in question. And bear in mind, too, I mean, these are all completely equipped. They will probably work fairly well at lower levels, like at 60 to 70 or 50, 60, 70. This will be a viable comparison. I'm actually higher rune power than they are. an alternate that you can do to this type of team, because the whole point they're going for is the Rocky haste, is to go Drac, to go maybe Hansuke, Valken, and Sifu, because you're going to get Sifu hasting all the warriors, or use Hagrum, Drac, Sifu, and Valken, or something like that, is probably going to be considerably more effective, because this haste is slow to recharge, whereas Sifu's haste is quick, provides more energy. So, something to consider there. It depends on what the epic does, but look at Takumi, Samurai Takumi. He's got an epic, and he's epically useless. So, not necessarily. Why am I'm a dumbass. Why do I keep doing that? Because now he's taunted. That's why. To get somebody else in. Alright, so the vines will kill Drac. They should kill him, so I just need to get damage on these guys. Except he's still friggin' taunting. Why did he not? God damn it. This taunt. Not having a way to clear this taunt or get rid of the taunt, or get around the taunt, is obnoxious. Yeah, see, this team, not so strong. But if we take your idea and we go back to the drawing board a bit, and instead, we do Sifu, Drac, Valken, and I want to use Hagrum. I just used him there. And I took all of his runes off. Agnon. Except I took all the runes off of Agnon. I'm not going to make that same mistake again. We're going to put the runes back on Agnon. And then we'll use Agnon here. So this team will do what you're trying to do. And then we'll put Agnon first. So I need to take them off of Craw. Spend a crap ton of gold on unequips, but that's fine. I am not low on gold. Now, and keep in mind too, like a lot of these teams, they might not be bad at lower levels. They might not even be bad at higher levels. But they are going to have problems against the meta. Because the meta is the meta because it's strong. So bear that in mind. Now I buck the meta all the time, although to some degree I set the meta because of some of the things that I've come up with and stuff, but like you can subvert the meta and then it changes the meta. Like the meta will start incorporating those things in. But yeah, I mean, so you can get around it for a while, but it's not always going to work by any stretch. But something like this actually should have a decent chance of working. And it's going to operate, yeah, and you're probably not going to destroy the meta, because the meta is to some degree what it is, especially not right now. Well, yeah, Undead and Beast teams for sure, but if you're not beating high rune powered dwarf, the ultimate test of a team is, can it beat high rune point here or high rune point teams of the current meta? So if you're not beating 5,800 rune powered dwarf teams, or you're not beating dwarf Djinn teams or a team like this with your team, then it's a viable team, but it's not a standalone team. It's not a meta crushing team. So, for example, this is not a perfect example, but this is a stronger team. 5,200. It's dwarves and Valken. So, go ahead and swap this in. I'm going to have Agnon go first, so that he receives haste from Sifu. And then we're going to throw Drak and Valken. The nice thing about this is that Valken is going to turn around and re-haste everybody at the end of this turn. So you're going to have pretty much perpetual haste on this team, assuming they all survive. And you get stuff like this, which is a problem. So, well, there isn't one team that everybody uses right now. And the biggest, so basically, the meta, as it stands at the moment, is you either have Djinn or you don't have Djinn. That's the meta. It is completely in flux right now. Not necessarily even that. Like, I mean, yeah, dwarves and Djinn, but it's not required. Really, the base version of the meta is you have Djinn or you don't have Djinn. Everything else is like subsets of the meta. Deadeye is definitely, well, Deadeye is good no matter what. He'll work on any meta, anything. He's just a really, really good hero. So now because I got frozen early on, Craw being on this team, I could have probably kept Craw in the place of Agnon instead and just left him there, because he would have stopped that freeze, but go ahead and re-haste, or we'll just win. But in doing this, you've effectively put together a team with 2 S heroes and 2 A heroes. So, I mean, Agnon is an S, Valken is an S, Drak is an A. Even as a barbarian right now, he'll stay an A, and Sifu's an A. So, you're kind of along the meta anyways at this point, but this is a better example of the team that you're kind of looking for. As far as what the meta is kind of right now, generally, the proper meta is Dagrand, Valken, probably Emily, although I've got to re-rune or get runes back on my Emily. I think I took them off, and Djinn. Like, this kind of team right here is kind of a standard meta, but there isn't one meta team. It's pretty much you have Djinn or you don't have Djinn, and you are set to counter Djinn or you're not set to counter Djinn. So the kind of bookends here is Dagrand and Djinn, are the important part. Valken is a force multiplier, so he's kind of included. And then Jin. But you've seen I can run Deadeye, Ember, Hagram, and Jin and tear people apart. I mean, it really depends. It really comes down to Jin. I can also run something along these lines, and let me actually do that. So we will run Agnon, Dagrand, Valken, and Craw. And I just took all the runes off of Craw. I need to pull the runes off of Iris to put on Craw. So we'll do that right now. Yeah, I mean it's a solid team. So the air quotes, the meta, there isn't a meta. It's just the meta is the general like feeling or thinking of what heroes are strong and the synergies around them. So people say, oh, dwarves is the meta. Well, dwarves isn't really the meta specifically. It's dwarves are part of the meta. Glass Cannon Furno with Zen. I don't think Furno is going to do enough damage to really benefit. I could potentially see, well, and like how many festive runes does he have to put on Zen? Because if you're not running 5 festives on Zen, you're not first round hasting anybody unless you've got Echo filling in the difference. And Craw is going to be back down at the bottom again. Festive. Breakable. Healer. Okay. Yeah, I mean, especially if you can't protect. I mean, with Zen, yeah, you can make him invulnerable, but I can strip that invulnerability easily. But Hagram's already fast, so you don't need Zen to make him fast. And you'll get Jackhammer like out of the gate. Valken is definitely, but in order to get him fast, it all comes down to you're either going to have to survive a round, which there's teams that I've already shown that will kill an enemy team in less than a round. So if you have to wait till the second round for that one trick to come around and be available because you can't get all the festives on there, there's no point in doing it. Like I was discussing that concept with, well, you're waiting, yeah, 2 to 4, 3 to 4, something like that. I was discussing that same concept using Valken and Zen, but waiting until round 2, and then Valken becomes fast and gets 3 attacks and all of those stuff. But you're waiting until round 2. By round 2, I want to be in the next battle. I don't want to still be in this one. So, for this, that was, what was I just going to show? For a meta Craw team, that's what I was doing. So Agnon, Dagrand, Valken, and Craw. And I don't have taunt to anybody. No, and at that level you can get away with it, but you're going to get away with most anything. I mean, you could run a team that's got Manglejaw in it and stuff like that and not worry. And some will. Alright, so I want to make sure that Craw stays alive. Although I probably should have hasted Valken instead of being a dumbass. That's alright. Because he does all the work for me with putting Zom in. Here's a word of advice. Don't use Zom with other rezzers. So yeah, these are you want to fly through these battles in a round. I mean, if you want to be really efficient, that's going to be flying. You want to fly through in a round. If you're more worried about taking your time and just enjoying it, whatever. I mean, I enjoy doing these things as a Craw, but... Yeah, but Gortusk, one-hitting Gortusk, everybody one-hits Gortusk. That's why we call Gortusk Kenny. Gortusk can have 28,000 defense and still get one-shotted. And yeah, I was not prepared properly for this fight. Watch me still come back anyway, and that'd be funny. Damn it. They killed Kenny, those bastards. Falcon. How am I silenced? Oh, it's the silence because of Craw. So yeah, even this team, like if I had swapped that out for Jin, I probably would have done better. Alternatively, I can do the same concept and just double down. Or I could use Craw instead of Dagrin, but Dagrin still is going to add a lot of value here. We'll kill Kenny. Oh yeah. Yeah, leave it to Dana to bag on Ohio or something. Yeah, no, I saw the movie when it was out in theaters, so like the first time around. So yeah, this team is considerably stronger. Yeah, well, I'm about the cold, I know. This is true. And, well, actually, it was more about my typo than anything, but... So I wonder with Craw, I'm going to try next round, instead of Craw, or instead of Dagran, now that I got Craw in here, we're in Europe. What part? France. There's a lot of dungeon boss players in France, I've noticed. Britain. Okay. We have a number of British players in Wrath. Yeah, we're gonna haste Jin. Just in time. Alright. We really haven't taken any damage, so I'm not going to do that. I will do this to pop some damage out. I friggin' love Craw. Might as well silence our boy over here. And let's do a smackdown on Emily. And the battle's over. So yeah, this team is actually pretty strong. No, I have not. Attempts to seduce the audience. That's, I mean, I suppose it's a novel shtick. Alright. So we're going to swap Sifu. The other character that we could use instead of Sifu here would be Deadeye, but we're going to go for Sifu for the haste. Sifu, Valken, Craw, and Jin. This could potentially be a really strong combo. Yokozuna, everybody. Oh, boy. I'd rather be a millionaire and have a mansion, because then I could just buy everything in Dungeon Boss. And things that are outside of Dungeon Boss. This is actually not a bad team. I might even just swap out my Dagran team for this. Oh, well, if that's the case, I'd just sell the house. But in the spirit of your thing, then yeah, I suppose. But if the house is worth millions and you're not actually running electricity in it or anything else, depends on where it's at too. If it's somewhere that it's sunny and doesn't get really bad weather, then okay. They almost managed to focus fire my gin down. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Brom's not bad at high levels. I've used him on offense and defense since his rework. He's not an A hero. He's still a C. But I mean, he's every bit as good as like a Grognhog or any number of these other ones. So this should be easy. I do not recommend Deadeye on defense, by the way. Oh, this is? I wasn't even paying attention. Alright. Is this Krusty? I wasn't paying attention. Who is it? Okay, so I've taken a little bit of damage. I'm going to go ahead and do Future Sight. Heal up and get a massive attack up. Ah, okay. His defense isn't terrible. Oops, what the what? I'm going to plead the fifth on that one. He's actually going to win. Yeah. I guess I'm going to owe him a drink, whoever he is, if he's in line. I just couldn't overcome. He was a really strong defense. This should be pretty straightforward. So this is the problem once you start getting off of the meta a little too much. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about it either way. Like, Craw is a great hero. He's really strong in most circumstances, but he's not going to be as reliable as, like, a Dagrand is or whatever. He's just not tough enough. And I forgot to look where Emily is. If Emily devours my haste, she did not. Okay. Good, good. Alright, take it easy, man. Thanks for coming out. So you think that the YouTube platform is better? I'm thinking so. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to YouTube then. That way I'm only worried about like maintaining one fan base and stuff like that, or one community. Alright. The hell of it, we'll do this team one more time and may switch it up a little bit again. But I've kind of covered the meta and covered all around and all sorts of different attack teams and defense teams and all that. I may take a break in a little bit. I've got to put some video content together. I really want to cover Craw. I just did the Falcon video, so I probably want to cover Sifu. I definitely want to get all of the heroes that I'm using right now covered in their own hero spotlights. And I also want to do a video kind of explaining my opinions on what the current meta is. So, I'd like to get those out even tonight. And I have a little more kind of admin work to do. I've got to make an intro or combine some work on an intro and things like that. So, I'll probably do, say, 5 more battles after this one. Alright, so at a win streak of 7. And or if I lose. This team will be fine for this. I just like Craw too because Craw brings a bunch of utility and hits hard. Really, really hard. I think I'm having problems here because I don't... Oh no, Jin's got taunt, so that shouldn't be an issue. And it did get easier when I put Jin back in. So next week I will still be on kind of I'm going to try to be pretty regular with videos and streaming and stuff this coming week. The week after I'm going to be traveling, well, no, actually the week after I will not be traveling. The week after that I'll be traveling for work. So in the next 2 weeks I'm going to try to get as much kind of content out here as I can, kind of really get the foundation for the channel up and going. And hopefully have some pretty cool stuff coming along the way. Why does this guy have taunt on his Jin? Oh, he's got a tough Jin too. That is rare. Still, it's a weak point. We're gonna attack. My Jin is hurting, so we're going to do some future sight. Heal up. Craw is just so freaking useful. Like, look at that kind of damage, the healing, the nice. Nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, he's a great hero. He's not an S, but he's a great hero. He's definitely an A. Especially in the current meta. Like, his utility has definitely increased. Gotta love Foresight. God, I love Foresight. This team is not overly strong, but they're tough. I say as I get my guy killed. Yep, level 80. Well, okay, so 1-star Craw at 80. Very, very limited useful. Alright, thanks, Lazarus. Thanks for coming out. I definitely appreciate your participation and your support and everything else. Much appreciated. You have a great night. Aquan, yeah, he can be useful in certain scenarios. So if you're putting him out onto a team to provide his protection from like the silence, and you expect him to die, then yeah. Or you want to have him protect from that silence that one time and then do a big attack buff, he's useful. At 1-star, don't expect him to live. He's not like Jin, where Jin at 1-star is still viable, like in general. Craw is not Jin, but at 3 or 4 stars, he starts to become that way. And this team is just tough. Trying to take somebody else down, but at this point, it's like... That's removing some damage. He's all defensive, so he's going to have trouble doing enough damage to me. I gotta kill Emily. There we go. That just turned the tide of this battle. Yeah, I mean, there were... Check if you're... Like, check for doorbuster sales tomorrow. He was on the doorbuster sales. You get like 100 tokens for $15 if you can afford something like that. If not, I mean, just look for when you can. I'm only really running him right now just to kind of throw him, or to show people how he's used, or how to use him. Really, for this team, you could put Dagrand in here instead, and it would serve the same purpose. I hate these Dagrand duels, or Falcon duels. Yeah, I'll try to put it together in the next day or so. I especially hate Falcon duels against healing Falcons. Alright, so I'm going to swap. I'll show you this same team then, with Dagrand back in here. We'll run a couple more battles, and then I'm going to call it and work on content. Maybe I'll even do a Craw video today. should have put Dagron first if he's not already. And Sistine. Wow. Friggin' Dagon that doesn't die immediately. Let's rectify that. For Craw or for heroes in general? I mean, both are important. But if you have crappy starred heroes and awesome runes, runes aren't going to be able to turn like a 3-star hero into something awesome. So, but you can do better with a 6-star hero that's moderately starred. But on Craw in general, starring him up is more important than runes. Two more battles like this, and then I need to take a break. And like I said, I'm going to be putting together some videos and stuff like that today. So, okay, this is a common team that you'll probably run across. And obviously, I'm running across it now, but you will probably run across this one with some level of frequency. The other thing, Joe, is that runes are changeable, and starring up is permanent. So, probably definitely starring up being more important. So in this case, there's no taunt anywhere. I've already cleared silence. Dagron has cleared silence, so I'm going to use the Dwarven Smackdown and try to smack down Emily. He has a fairly strong Emily, or fairly tough Emily. And I also didn't pay attention to where she was in the order. Okay, we're actually good. Haste going. And just clean up. All right. Last battle, and it looks like it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a doozy. So here we've got the classical Falcon, Dagron, Emily, Theron team. Also, this guy has Emily in the right place. Emily should generally be in position 3. He's got Dagron fairly early, so my Jin is going to stop his Falcon from doing anything, but then he's going to clear taunt, or clear the silence after that. So this is going to be a tough battle. I'm not absolutely certain that even with this team that I'll beat it. I'm hoping to, but we shall see. So this is a good finisher. So ideally my plan here is going to be to kill Valken and kill Dagrand if I can. Because I have Sifu who will be... Actually, I need to kill Emily. Because of where my Valken is in the order, she's going to break his haste, so... I'm not going to be hasted this round unless I can kill Emily. So in order to do that, we got to kill Valken. Which is not going to happen like that. This one. Yeah, all that healing. I'm not even going to take down a single character. Oh well, I knew that going into this one that I might not win it, so. Cool. Alright, well, I am going to wrap up for now. I've been going for 3.5 hours, so I will be putting out at least one more video today, so look for that. I might just go ahead and do the craw video. I might even do 2 hero spotlights because they're pretty quick. So yeah, thanks for coming out. Look for my videos. If you haven't already subscribed, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it, trying to build up the channel. Thanks everybody for being here. You have a wonderful evening. Evening, morning, whatever time it is. See ya.